Hi everyone, welcome to Karina's Kitchen. Today we are going to be grating two different types of cheese, a hard and a soft, as well as using a box cheese grater. So let's go ahead and familiarize our materials in front of us. We have a cutting board, a box grater that with 4 different types of graters on it. Today we are going to be focusing on the widest part face with the larger grooves. We also have a mixing bowl, so we can put all of our cheese into there and have a clean space. Most of my materials is going to be on the left hand side of me, so I know where they are and to keep an organized space. My cheeses that I will be using are going to be on the right hand side. Alrighty, so we are going to go ahead and grab our cheese grater and place it onto our cutting board. My cheese grater has a handle and which is perpendicular to me, as well as my the side that I'm going to be grating the cheese is facing perpendicular as well. The way that I'm going to be grabbing my cheese and grating it is you want to use like a claw-like with your hand or with your fingers tucked in, as well as making sure that it is firmly grasped. With your other hand, you are going to place it on top of the handle. Make sure that you're pressing down to avoid the grater sliding about and to also prevent scraping your fingers. So let's go ahead and start with our cheese on the top row of our graters, which is going to be closest to our handle. Once I have my cheese on the top row, my fingers tucked in, my hand firmly on the handle, I'm going to go down with my hand and arm, as well as applying pressure. This will create the shredded cheese. So let's go ahead and try it out. Applying pressure and slide down. Once we get to the bottom, we're gonna just repeat our motion starting from the top. Fingers tucked in, pressly firmed, and slide again. Make sure that your fingers are tucked to avoid sliding. And let's go ahead and try again. Pressing firmly and slide down with your arm and hand. Awesome. Once we have the desired cheese, to make sure that we actually shredded our cheese, we can lift the cheese grater up using the handle, and you can shake it a little bit to get all the excess out. And there we go. I'm gonna place my cheese grater to the left hand side, and I can see that I have my shredded cheese. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up and put it into my mixing bowl. Okay, now for the second option on how to grate the cheese, using a smaller piece or a softer cheese, you can use this other method. This way, it's a little bit easier to hold the cheese and still has that same sliding up and down motion, only we're gonna use it in a different way. So first things first, let's go ahead and grab our cheese grater. We are going to place it on the on its side with the cheese grater that we're going to be using facing up. The handle is closer to my body while the open end is away. So once we got our cheese grater laying flat, let's go ahead and grab our small cheese, and we are going to grab the handle with our other hand and firmly grasp while we take our cheese and place it on the top row of the cheese grater. The top row is going to be closest to us and to the handle. So once we place our cheese onto the top row, we are going to press firmly on the cheese using our palm, in the middle of our palm, with our fingers flexed up. This is to ensure that we don't accidentally scrape our fingers while we grate the cheese. So once our hand is on the handle, firmly grasped, our palm is on the cheese, we are going to press down and we are going to slide away from each other, or from ourselves. So press down firmly, fingers flexed up, and slide away. Okay, and we can go ahead and grab the cheese again, put it on the top row, press firmly with our palm, and fingers flexed, and slide away. Once you start feeling the cheese getting smaller, you will also probably notice that you can feel the cheese graters lightly graze the bottom of your palm. That is a good indicator that your cheese is probably getting a little too small to grate, and you are finishing up your cheese. Okay. Once my cheese is all grated, I am going to go ahead and move the open end to the middle of my cutting board so I can dump my cheese onto the cutting board, and then to avoid any messes. So we're going to carefully lift our handle up, and then the bottom should, now our grater is upright. And then same thing as before, we're just gonna lift it up, shake it a little to get all that excess off, and we can put our cheese grater to the side. Great, and now we have our grated cheese. And same thing as before, we can just go ahead and scoop it up and place it into our mixing bowl. Nice. Thank you guys for being here, and remember, you can always modify to accommodate your students, and hope you enjoy. See ya.